Welcome, this is Dustin Gower. Back with more information. We're going to talk about the riots and why they're happening. And really, are the riots even helping? No. First, without further ado, let's just look at what's going on with these riots. Violent techniques
Guys, hello?
taking down stories on this show I don't think it's small.
Peaceful protesting, trying to stick to the message, and you know, we're gonna back up a little bit. Our producer got hit. All right. Our producer got hit by some sort of projectile right there. We're gonna back up here. You okay? Come on, we gotta move here. Let's back up. Come on. We're gonna get back. We're gonna move back. We're gonna get to a safe spot here, Don. As they continue to methodically work there, we gotta move back, fellas. Come on.
Can you guys hear what? Can you guys hear? Can any of you hear the audio from the video?
Let's move. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. Now, the reason for all these riots is supposedly George Floyd's death by police officer. Now, I'm not going to say that the police officers were doing a good thing, but I'm not here to disclaim that they were bad. They were not doing they were not handling it right, but George Floyd was not a perfect guy that they're making it look like he was. He obviously he attempted to rob it. He robbed a store. From Texas, but he was on meth. I mean, he was on all sorts of drugs. I mean, Um, yeah. He went to jail for at least 5 times. Like, okay. Before that, so influence of the commission. Neck compression and restricting blood flow. So he was also being he died based on being restricted of his neck. Then at the end, the officers, there were 4 officers on this one guy. 4 officers. And yet stuff like this happens all the time. All the time. And why was this one anymore? For any of you that are watching this, there's a left versus right divide and conquer plan, or black versus white divide and conquer plan, and this is part of it. Because these are the results of that.
So here we go. We got a little bit of a fire breaking out on the left here as people are being forced back by the police. And you see these police officers and patrol officers are advancing slowly through the intersection as gas is preceding their steps as they are walking vehicles inside as well. At this point, we're trying to stay out of...
Come on.
They're taking the governor. They're taking the governor. We're... Okay.
Also, later on, either today or in the coming days, I will cover the coronavirus more on that as well.
Come on.
Showing the that it is without a doubt completely.
They're taking the governor. They're taking the governor. We're... Okay.
Wait. And we
station actually grew and the correct way
would George Floyd even want this? Burning buildings and cars and all this violence. I'm not so sure that you would want any of that.
Yeah! Fuck Trump!
They're doing tear gas down there.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God. Are you?
Because of the death of one person, one man. Who apparently had multiple arrests before this. Now I'm saying the police officer still didn't do it right. Absolutely. I don't believe police officer did it the right way, but yeah, this is not. I don't have the documents up, but I know that some of these violent protesters are being paid for, funded by certain elitists. I don't have those documents myself, but I will continue this topic, and I will show those. But pointing a gun at her stomach while looking for drugs and money. Yeah, so he wasn't the best he wasn't even okay. So he apparently had so George Floyd is being treated like he's a war hero, and his death was the cause of riots. And yet he was a guy who robbed places and went to jail multiple times before this incident, before his final incident. It's a divide and conquer. All of the links that I have on the screen, or all of the links that all of the videos and the article that I used, and the two videos that are on this stream or on this video will be put in the description. So you guys can look at them yourselves. And if you want to afterwards look at this yourself, you can. I put the links in the description so that and you can make up your own decisions on this. But me, personally, I don't believe any of this is the right way to even even go about this. I think we have riots in multiple states and counties, and it could become the entire U.S. and put us under martial law. In fact, Google. I'm gonna tell you guys the definition of martial law. Oh, hang on. Okay, guys. So martial law, according to, I'm gonna add this in the description in a minute. Till I find one. First, you control the military body. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to this article right here. Now I know this is Wikipedia, but bear with me. Oh, not the Philippines in the U.S. We don't want that. We want this. So, as a whole, or place under the control of military body. Meaning instead of policemen in your local area, you have an entire military controlled zone where you have a curfew, where nobody is allowed to be outside after certain hours. You have very few choice of things to watch, things to do, and it is just absolutely. Okay, so actually opposed martial law, since both can be in charge of martial law in each state. Okay, so both the President of the United States and the United States Congress have the power to impose martial law, and since they both can be in charge of it in each state, the governor has the right to impose martial law. So even within a state, the governor can also do it within the law of the state. Now, martial law has been used in a limited number of such as New Orleans during the and the major disasters, such as Great Chicago Fire, 1871, or the San Francisco earthquake. Now, during riots. Now, I know that there is one city right now that is under martial law. I can't remember what it was. The United States is closely tied to the right of corpus which is the right to hearing and trial, lawful imprisonment, or more broadly, as supervision of law enforcement by the judiciary, the ability to suspend this corpus is related to the imposition of martial law. Article 1, Section 1 of U.S. Constitution states the privilege of the corpus shall not be suspended unless when in the case of rebellion or invasion of public safety may require it. So, martial law is constitutional if the right circumstances or conditions are met. So, that being said, I'm going to go put the martial law link in the description. I'll be right back. Okay. Nope. Wrong thing. I'm going to hide my mouse. For a brief second. Okay, so these are other instances of when it was actually used. Quick. Oh, wait. Minneapolis. Oh. Okay, yeah. 1934. What do you know? Commonality in it. 1934. Governor Floyd. What do you know? Another name. Only this time it's his first name, not his last name. Huh. Well, think of 34 after Bloody Friday. So, 1934 was the other riot which people were referring to in the news. I know that. But it looks like we have a commonality. The governor in 1934 was named, the first name, Floyd. Interesting. Whereas we have George Floyd. Commonality? I don't know. Wait, is that the same spelling? just different placement on the name. Huh. No, they're not related, and they're not. So, but it's just interesting. Interesting how they have some elements have similarities. Again, issuing operation permits to truck drivers, engaging roving patrols, curfews and security details on August National Guard troops. Seized strike headquarters and placed arrest union leaders in a stockade at state fairgrounds. Huh. So it looked like, okay, so there has been a riot in the past in Minneapolis, which a lot of you probably already know. Anyway, this
My neighborhood.
But y'all can't even say that. Y'all fucked up this whole man. I've been letting now just when somebody doing something instead of sitting back watching it.
So if you can hear that there's a thing, hands up, don't shoot. Well, that is referring to, well, yeah, they don't want to be shot. Smoke grenades.
I mean, I don't know what else. They don't really
I thought they were paintball.
Oh, no.
The rubber bullets.
Alright, look at these guys. These guys look like they're in shirt. They look like military, but they look like not just right. They look like they're military.
Another one. Hey, firework!
Are those fireworks? Are they using... Oh, that's like... That truck, that looks like a, now that is a riot van, but golly, that is militarized as can be. Let's go look at that van for a second, and let's see what that van had on top of it. Okay. Nope. Not that far enough. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay. Okay. Right up here. Oh, they just had somebody on top. Right here. I think it might have a sound device. I don't know if that's just, or that's just a tractor from somebody getting hit from behind. But Military does have a device that is a sound device that will deter rioters or anybody they target, really. Used in, of course, in movie fashion, it was used in The Incredible Hulk. But anyway, back to the, we have just a lot of, I don't know if my volume or just the video volume was needed there. No? Just somebody, the person that made this video must have needed this part. Out of it. Oh, I get So anyway, let's watch this other video about how U.S. riots could end up being in martial law.
Thought dominating the streets was a really interesting phrase he chose to use, Tom, and it was a phrase he also used in a phone call earlier to governors where he said that they had to go out and dominate or they'd look like a bunch of jerks. And his Defence Secretary, Mark Esper, said to the governors, look, you've got 70,000 National Guard troops activated in 29 states.
My phone is ringing. Sorry, guys. No, I can't. Shoot. Okay. Well, guys, I think I'm going to end this live stream here. I'll continue later on, but yeah, this is just. I put all the links in the description. I'll have to continue this another time. Make up your own mind on it. Oh. Well, it wasn't important apparently, so I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, so let's just play this from the beginning here.
Thought dominating the streets was a really interesting phrase he chose to use, Tom, and it was a phrase he also used in a phone call earlier to governors where he said that they had to go out and dominate or they'd look like a bunch of jerks. And his Defence Secretary, Mark Esper, said to the governors, look, you've got 70,000 National Guard troops activated in 29 states, but most of the states using them have fewer than 200 deployed. So he too said we need to dominate the battle space. So interesting, you're quite right to point out there were a couple of different messages there in Donald Trump's address to the nation. One of them was, I am standing with the peaceful protesters, he actually said, but on the other hand, he says we need to absolutely dominate. And, you know, he told the governors, you've got to arrest people, you have to try people, you have to put them in jail for 10 years, then you'll never see this stuff again, and you have to let them know that. Well, there's a certain inevitability, of course, to what's about to happen here, I think, and I don't think to some extent, Tom, it would matter who was president, it'd be happening, and that is the involvement of the military, because police do look outnumbered. But then again, we saw in those pictures before what a dreadful situation with some more kind of police brutality adding to the tensions. So what a mess. I mean, you know, it does look like eventually, essentially you'll see the president using the Insurrection Act to overrule the governors if this goes on, which you anticipate it might, even if they call in the National Guard, call in the military, and will effectively have several cities in the US under martial law. That's probably going to be how this resolved. Now, how this resonates with middle-class Americans who are so key to whether Trump or Biden wins the election, well, it might actually resonate well, because what they want more than anything is safety. Safety of themselves and safety of their family. Saw what Barack Obama said there, what the tweet that you pulled up, and his support for the protest, and that's all well and good. You even had Trump saying, I support the peaceful protesters, I stand with them. But those looting scenes, I mean, no one can support that, no one can condone that, and it's just, you can't have that sort of lawlessness on your streets. You've got to do whatever, pull whatever law and order levers that you've got in order to quell that.
You do. I mean, you cannot obviously allow this to go on unfettered. The question is, you know, right now.
So again, let's look at martial law now. Look at the martial law again now. Okay. The most recent was the Television Act for fiscal year 2007. We've had multiple occurrences of martial law apparently in the United States. No, the last incident of martial law until now, HR, okay, also known as the John Warner National Defense Authorization Act of was a bill passed in the United States Congress on September 29, 2006. And it's on President George W. Bush on October 17, 2006. Public law to allocating funding to armed forces. It also gave the president the power to declare martial law and to take command of National Guard units of each state without consent of state governors. Oh, so that's what gives the president the right to declare martial law and take control of the National Guard. Okay, so that's interesting. On April 2nd, 2007, the U.S. Senate held hearings about recent changes to the Insurrection Act of 1807 in Section 1072 of the Defense Authorization Act, where the Vermont sought to reverse the 2006 amendments to the Senate has the powers to use military or domestic distribution, terrorism, destruction, etc. If changed the name of the Insurrection Act to enforcement of laws in the same hearing. Okay, Senator just determined the measure that was included so yeah, this is basically what enables the president to declare martial law and use the National Guard. So now that we know that the president can now, or any president, let's see, so let's continue with this video, by Sky News Australia, so.
Now, language matters. The lines you can pick out, I mean, from any Donald Trump address, there's usually something for everyone. These are areas we're getting in. I can see it's a target of some sort there. I don't actually know where these is. Look, it's pretty chaotic, the sources we're getting in. We're going to show you it's in the US, and these are people protesting. But, Andrew Clennell, you know, the words still do matter from Donald Trump. And while you understand why you'd have to pull various levers to just get control back of the country, that's where we're at right now, it still matters how you say it, and also, you know, who you blame. I mean, we're unsure exactly partly the role Antifa, the anti-fascist movement, is playing in all of this, but a lot of experts are saying, you know, they're concerned about both the extreme left and the extreme right. You've got to try to bring the nation together even as you crack down on the dissenters.
Yes, well, I do think it was interesting, though, that he talked about standing with the peaceful protesters. Would have been a lot more inflammatory without that, but nevertheless, going to be a lot of Americans there angry at Donald Trump, and he made some governors angry in that phone call prior to his address. I mean, he told the Democratic governor, Janet Mills of Maine, that it seemed the governor was trying to talk him out of visiting Maine, and now she probably talked me into it, and he was just he was on fire really in this phone call. I mean, he said they were going to look like fools. You have to dominate. If you don't dominate, you're wasting your time. They're going to run over you. You're going to look like a bunch of jerks. And then he congratulated the governor, I think, of Minnesota, Tim Walz, for his use of National Guard over the past couple of nights. Someone on the call then made a comment about the Minnesota response looking like an occupying force, and Trump said people wouldn't have minded an occupying force. And to be honest, you know, in Middle America, that might be true at the moment because, you know, we've seen those scenes of small business people getting battered.
So, this is what they see outside of the U.S. This is what they're saying about what's going on here in the United States from the outside.
You know, all they're trying to do is stop looters, and but of course, then we know, you know, perhaps without even knowing it, Trump had that tweet about the looting starts, the shooting starts, and inflaming things yet again, because that's got its origins with racism decades ago. So.
Yeah.
Where this ends, like, where does it end? I mean, they're calling these curfews, and everyone's disobeying the curfews. Are people going to be shot by the military? Is that where this ends up? That's where I fear it ends up.
Yeah, if this keeps going, people will be shot by the military. Unfortunately, the military people, are they going to obey that order? Unfortunately, a lot of our servicemen are indeed order followers, and they just do what they're told. They don't even think about it.
Let's hope not. Look, as you mentioned, it seems to have this uncanny knack to evoke dark moments in history and then say that it was a complete coincidence. Look, the other thing, just to get a sort of insight into decision making right now, he gave this address in the Rose Garden. He then walked out.
So I'll leave this here. Well, I'm not gonna leave it. I'm gonna keep going with this for a little bit longer. But the main thing you need to know about this is riots are not the way to react to George Floyd's death, especially considering the fact that George Floyd was not a hero in any way. Now, I'm not protecting the law officer. The police officers that took him down. I'm not protecting them at all. That being said, if hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say. All right. If anybody has any questions about this, you put that in the chat. I am all ears. Yeah, I agree with that one. You know, we don't need martial law. That's straight up. What we don't need is militarized police. We don't need any of that. Yeah, this is just I wonder if we'll end up in the entire country in martial law or not. As you know, martial law is extremely forceful. least. Um, no, I'll keep this article up. Yeah, so there's a lot of. I think I've covered martial law being in backwards of Walmart. I think I've covered that. I'm not entirely sure if I have. I think I have, but I will cover it again. Walmart is absolutely one of the main. I mean, it just Walmart, martial law, backwards. Anyway, if yeah, George Floyd had. I tried looking for his exact record, but obviously I can't find that. Oh, here we go. Being released from prison in Houston, Texas, following arrest, robbery. 20 Floyd was arrested for passing a counterfeit. Under the influence of. Well, and that. Okay, so we have him under the influence of 2 different drugs at the time of his arrest. But he has more than a decade old criminal history at the time of his arrest and went to jail for at least 5 times. Now, so then why are we, putting him up on a pedestal like he's a war hero and a really great guy when he hasn't really done anything like that? I mean, I still think the police officers were wrong to do it the way that they did it, but at the end of the day, now, he pled guilty to entering at once, pointing a gun at her stomach, entering the home for drugs, money, according to the court records. Okay, so that's 10 months in stage. 10 months. Okay, that's in for possession of cocaine in December of 2005 arrest. Wow. Okay, so he's had quite a history, it looks like. That being said, why is and yet people are then buying into the people are just buying into it. Not even thinking about, was George Floyd a good guy? Not the best person out there. But did he deserve to die? I don't think so. But did the police officers do the right thing? No, they didn't do it the right way. They had 4 they had 4 police officers on him. Let's see. A Civil War-like atmosphere. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely mayhem out there. Worldwide protest. I don't think that's the right word because I don't think it's worldwide. It's only in the United States, unless this is, yeah, that's a little involved. All 4 officers have now been suspended, arrested, charged. But I don't know if they've been arrested or not. They'll probably get away with it, like all officers do. And they'll probably be put back on the force eventually. The corrupt system as it is. If anybody has questions, please, I'm willing to answer any questions you have. Yeah, so I have any questions for you guys. If you guys have any questions for me about this, or I will be willing to answer them. Concerning this topic. But I'm getting very close to the time that I want to be at with this. If he doesn't have questions for too long, I think we'll end it. This live stream soon. I think I've covered pretty much all that I can cover at the moment. So yeah, without further ado, this is then Dustin Gower. Links are in the description below. Make up your own mind. Don't take my word for it. And always do your own research. And leave your thoughts for the thought police and all them in the description after this becomes a video. And if you have any questions for me concerning these topics, if anybody has any questions right now, it'd be good to ask. Concerning George Floyd or any of the whether it's martial law or George Floyd or the riots that are going on right now. If you have any questions about that, I am willing to answer those. So, so basically and for those of you that don't know, we have been under martial law multiple times over the history of the United States. Let's see, New Orleans, all that till 1961 and now. So now look, now that ever since 2006, 2007, the president has been able to use martial law given the right conditions. If anyone wants to ask or anything about this, they're willing to. Any questions at all? Let's recap all the violence that's going on, that has been going on. Not all of it, but this video shows a lot of it. Bake shop? Really? Breaking into a bake shop? People are this angry? I mean, come on. Innocent shops and all this are being broken into because of one person's death.
Guys, hello? Peaceful protesting, trying to stick to the message, and you know, we're gonna back up a little bit. Our producer got hit. All right, our producer got hit by some sort of projectile right there. We're gonna back up here. You okay? Come on, we gotta move here. Let's back up. Come on. We're gonna get back. We're gonna move back. We're gonna get to a safe spot here, Don. As they continue to methodically work there, we gotta move back, fellas. Come on. Let's move. Yeah. That's right.
Gas grenades or smoke grenades.
Well, sir. So here we go. We got a little bit of a fire breaking out on the left here as people are being forced back by the police. And you see these police officers and patrol officers are advancing slowly through the intersection as gas is preceding their steps as they are walking vehicles inside as well. At this point, We're trying to stay out of.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. They're taking the governor. They're taking the governor. We're... Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. They're taking the governor. They're taking the governor. We're...
I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. So I want to know what any of your thoughts are on this or questions for me about this ordinance. It's interesting to know what other people are thinking as well as myself. Anyway, so we have, there's a lot of violence that I don't see the a home delivery truck on fire. Why?
Station actually grew and the truck went.
They're doing tear gas down there.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God. Are you?
That was a jewelry store. Torn to pieces and then locked down.
But y'all can't even say that shit. Y'all fucked up this whole fucking man, I've been letting finish knowledge when somebody doing something.
I'm gonna change the thing real quick, guys. They're with me. Oh. So. I'm guessing you guys didn't hear much when I was playing it the first time around. Oh. Really? You guys are hearing me, okay. So, basically, there's a lot of violence going on for something that is not nearly as important as what they're saying. I mean, it just. And for any of you that are watching that are going to say that I'm white and I don't understand it, give me a break. It is my understanding that all races are equal, so it doesn't matter what race you are. You're still gonna be responsible for anything. And it's not more likely for a black person to be killed versus a white person. It's not any more likely. And it's not, if I could show you the numbers, I would right now. But no, it's not more likely for a black or white person to be more killed by a police officer of any color. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's called race baiting, and that's what's been happening the entire time. All this is a race bait. Divide us, and then get going to martial law. So, I hope that you guys take this right, what I'm trying to say right, yeah, this whole thing is just a mess. Yeah, so, I'm gonna end it here. And, so, if you guys find this information useful, great, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. Do your own research. And otherwise, yeah. So that being said, This has been Dustin Gower. I'll see you guys in the next one.